Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step on how you can install SQL Server, MySQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. Now, I'm going to show you step by step the process that you are going to be using to install this server. So if you are into Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, you want to learn SQL, this video is for you. So I'm going to show you step by step a walkthrough of how you can get it set up and also get your file exported. So the link is in the description below. Alright, so let's go into it. Now don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video. By so doing, you are helping me to grow. Alright, so let's go. So the first thing I want to do is I want to search for SQL Server. Alright, I will search for SQL Server download and then I'll click on this. Now this is going to take me to the Microsoft Server downloads, and here I'm going to select the developer edition. Now why am I choosing this? Because this comes with a full featured free edition. Alright, so if you are into business or whatever, the Express is there, the Azure and all of that, but then this is the one we are going to select. So when you click download, you should start seeing download on your system. So it's now asking me to download now. Right now I already have it, so I'll cancel. Now I'm going to go into my download folder. Right, so in this download folder I'm going to select let's go to this new folder. So now this is the file, so I want to install it now, so I will run it and let's wait for it to finish installation. Okay, so now it's going to show you these three options. The one you are going to select, you can choose basic, custom, but I will go with the download because I need the server setup file, and also this will help me to install them quickly. Right, so I'll select this and then I'll select this ISO. Okay, I'll go with the ISO file so that I'll be able to mount it, mount the application and run it quickly. So I'll just click on download and let's wait for it to download. Okay, so once it finished downloading, now one of the key things you must know is this address. This address is very powerful, because this is where this ISO file that you are going to download, this is where it's going to this downloads folder. So we are now going to go there now because it has finished installing. If you are just new, it will take time. So I'll go back to the download folder and then so you can see it here, the SQL, so you can see the extension .iso here. Alright, so this .iso is what tells you that this is the file you just downloaded. So what I'll do is I'll right click. So at this next step you need a WinRAR so that you'll be able to extract it. So I want to extract the file and create a folder with it. So I will extract to folder and .dev here. Okay, now once I do that, what I will need to do now is I will open this extracted file that I've done and then open this setup file. So now you can see setup.exe here. This is not the one, this is the configuration files. Okay, configuration source file, but this is the one you are going to use. This is setup application. Alright, so I will right click on it and it will open. Now once it opens, it's going to take me to where I will set up my server, so pay attention closely. Now once it brings me here, I'm going to click on this installation here. Okay, on the left hand side here, I'm going to click on installation and then I'm going to click on new SQL Server standalone installation. Alright, so and then I'll click on it. Okay, so now this is because I needed the SQL Server. Okay, so and it's a server 2022. So this is what I need to set up the process. Right, let's wait. Alright, so I'll click on this setup file and it will open. Now once it opens, what I want to do now is to now begin to set it up. So I'll come to this left hand side here where my cursor is, and then I'll click on installation. Then I'll click on new SQL standalone installation, or when I want to add an existing feature. Alright, so let's wait for it. Okay, so here you just have to leave it like this, so because you have to leave it for the developer edition, so that's the free edition. So I'll click on next. Then this step I'll just check because I want to accept their terms and condition. Then click on next. Then this will run a check. Now I don't want the Microsoft to be updating frequently, so I'll click on next. Now this will now run check for products update, all of the what I've just checked so far. All right, and then so the window firewall will always throw an error. Yeah, so then I don't need Azure. I don't need that Azure extension for SQL. But if you need it, you can select it. But I don't need it. But know that if you are going to need Azure, it's going to ask you for login details, and this is not part of what I want to do in this video. So I'll unselect them and then click on next. Then here I want to just select the SQL engine. All right. So if I want to replicate SQL Server, machine learning services, and language extension, if I want to do all of that, but I just need the database engine service, right? So if you need any of this feature, you can select it. But for me, I'm just going for the database engine service. So I'll click on next. Now once it comes like this, so this is the default instance, okay, Microsoft SQL Server in caps there. So this is the default server that will be created for you, okay. But if you decide to name it differently, you can name it, but I won't advise that. So I will just go with the default instance, then click on next. Okay, so now you can see the SQL Server agent. So I'm going to change it from manual to automatic like this. I want to make it automatic. I want to also make this automatic. Then this disable. I don't need it to be disabled. I want it automatic. So everything here, the setup file should be automatic, right? So I won't want this grant permission because it will allow overriding. So I don't need it. So I'll just click on next, and then here this is the authentication mode. So if you decide to use a mixed mode, that means you have to set up your own password, okay. And if you decide to go with the Windows authentication mode, it means that you use your Windows authentication mode that you have set up for your system. So for me, I just want to set this. Okay, I'm going with the Windows authentication. All right, so but I don't want to set up my password. But okay, let me just set the password. All right, so let's set the password as this. All right. Right, now the most crucial one in this step is to add a current user. So I'll click on add current user. My system user is details are here now. So and then you can continue adding if there are other users that you want to add. So I'll click on next. Now this is where I'll now configure the feature rules. Okay, so this is a summary of everything that we've just done so far, right? So what I want to do is to click on install so that it will install everything that we've just selected. All right, now while it is installing, so the next thing you will need to install is now don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. By so doing, you are helping me to grow. The SSMS, all right, Microsoft. So we'll do SSMS like this. Let me remove this so that I'll see root. Okay, yes, so SSMS download. So SQL Server Management Studio. Now this is the studio that will allow you to launch your server So once it open, you come down here. Okay, you come down to this download here. So you can see version 21 here. Click on it. It will take you to where you can download it will take you to the download. So I already have it, so I don't need to download again. So while we are waiting for this to install, make sure that this is already downloading. Now let's check. Okay, so it's still installing. So let's come back once it has finished installing. Alright, so the installation has finished. So the next step we need to do now is to close and then go to our download folder and open the downloaded. So come back to where is it? So since it has installed, so this is what we are going to open, the VS SMS like this. So I'm going to open it, and then it's going to let you open the setup studio. All right, so now we're not going to install this. So you don't need to select all of this except you need them. I don't need all of this, so I just need this SMS core component, which I'll just click on install for it to install. Okay, and as you can see, it takes 2 gig space, so we have to wait for it for this SQL Server Management Studio to get installed. All right, so let's wait for it to install. Okay, so now that the SQL Server Management Studio is installed, the next thing we need to do now is to launch. So I'm going to click on this launch here to launch the SQL Server Management Studio. All right, so let's allow it to load. Okay, all right, so now once it gets here, this is where you log in. So you remember what I entered the other time, so I just need to put here localhost. Your server name should be localhost. The engine type is automatically selected. Then I'm choosing the Windows authentication because that's what I selected. I said it should be Windows Windows and password. So once I just choose Windows authentication, so I should be able to start doing so. And then it should trust the server, and then yeah, so like this. So I can now connect. Okay, so now I've now been able to create an SQL server. All right, now for me to now run a new query to create a new database, add data, what do I need to do? So here I can run a new query. I can use the create, I can say create, then database, because it's database. So I can make it small letter, capital letter, it doesn't matter. So if I do create and I say database like this, so this command simply means I want to create a database. So what should follow now is the name of my database. So I'll just call it test db like this, test db. Remember that the name you use in your database should be camel case. So if it is camel case, then I should have something like test underscore, or sorry, coming from the Python, don't blame me. So we have db like this, right? All right, so or I can just make it small letter, but anyway, just make sure that you use the camel case when you are naming. So I'll just put colon here, then I can say go here, or I can choose not to add, and then I will execute like this. I will execute the query, and you can see that the command completed successfully. Now if I want to check the database that has been created, even though I come here, all the database that are here will be showing, right? So the new database I just created is showing here right now. So but in a situation where you created or you perform an action here and nothing is happening here, just come here to refresh. All right, refresh it, and then every other information that is hanging will be updated. So our test db is here. So now that I create a database is not enough, I will need to use it. So I can now comment them out. How do I comment it out? I'll use flag double hyphen like this, and then I'll comment the line of code out. Now I want to now use the database, so I'll say test db. All right, test db like this. Okay, yes, that's the name of my DB. So I'll say test DB, then I'll now run it. I'll run the code. I'll execute the code like this. I will execute the code like this, and once I execute it like this, okay, so that means I've now been able to tell the query that I want to use this test DB. All right, so I can now do something like this. Okay, so this is how to create database and use a table. But if you want a full course on this, on Power BI SQL, you can just hit me up. Use the link in the description to register for my class. All right, for my course. It's affordable, and this is where I teach in detail, giving you a step-by-step process for you to achieve your goals in becoming a Power BI data analyst. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. By so doing, you are helping me to grow with SQL skill. Thank you, and see you in the next video.